For today's video, I want to discuss the roster news that came out from the Toronto Defiant yesterday, before giving my thoughts on this decision and how it will affect the team moving forward. If you haven't heard or were not aware, Toronto have moved the players Gods and Sharyk from their academy side Montreal Rebellion up to their main roster. Whilst largely receiving a positive reception, some people have had a few questions about this move on Twitter and Reddit I'll get onto in a minute, but first I want to discuss the players themselves. Talking immediately about their performances on their previous contenders team, Montreal Rebellion, the Tank duo had a solid season, just being beaten out in the Eastern playoffs by Fusion University in a close 3-2 series, and the pair are no strangers to the competitive Overwatch scene. Gods has been an Overwatch veteran who's seen his popularity increase over the years, with 2017 seeing him make the USA World Cup side, before enjoying a decent 2018 with the Gladiators Legion. Sharyk meanwhile found early success with E United, winning Season 0 of Contenders Europe, and since has been competitive in the European scene, only being bested by the European Contenders Giants of British Hurricane and Angry Titans before his switch to America. Admittedly, I haven't seen too much footage of the pairs play, but from what I have seen, I don't think it'd be fair to say that either player hasn't earned an opportunity to show what they can do on an Overwatch League stage, and in my eyes there are definitely players currently in the league at their tank positions who the pair definitely seem to be better than. But now, let's talk about the move in context and understand why Toronto made this decision. One of the reasons I can think of, and that I've seen discussed, is because promoting the pair can avoid the visa issues that are plaguing the scene at the moment, given that they were already situated in America, with their places in the Montreal Rebellion Academy setup. If a Defiant had wanted to bring in more Korean talent, in line with their fully Korean roster, this would have likely required them to try and get player a visa, which lately has been taking up a lot of teams' times and resources, with some foreign players only just starting to get theirs approved. On the note of this apparent shift away from an all-Korean roster, it may seem a little bizarre at first glance, but given that Neko, Envy, I'm37 and 8 have all had previous experience speaking English, I don't think this multilingual move will cause the team too many issues. It should be able to adapt, especially with I'm37 reuniting with its former teammates. From watching the video that the team posted, it appears that they want to run the pair together, being subbed in for Yakpun and Envy, which I think is probably a good idea initially to help them feel more comfortable in their initial transition, and just looking at other examples like Pokpo and Dako for Atlanta and Marvel and Michelle for Seoul, teams have found greater success when keeping these previously synergized partnerships intact. But is this actually an upgrade over what they already have? Envy certainly hasn't been a weakness for Toronto, and in fact has been one of their strongest players, so this move is clearly not a bid to try and find an upgrade over him. Instead, this looks like a low-risk promotion from their academy to find the team's replacement for Yakpun. Despite having the odd moments of success, he's for the most part been the major weakness of the side, often getting caught out of position and going in over-aggressively, has led to him feeding a lot. From what I've seen, I think that Sharyk's Rhine is a lot better than Yakpun's, so he could be the cheap upgrade this team needed after a very rough second stage for the Defiant, in which they took a major step back after their impressive first stage. Moving forward, even if the pair don't make an immediate impact, I definitely think they can add to the side, with the flexibility they've shown in the past, or an ability to play DPS. But I think this identity shift of the side, from full Korean to mixed, is actually the biggest benefit that I take away from this move. Of course, all Korean sides have dominated the Overwatch scene for quite some time, with New York, London and now Vancouver leading the pack. But lately it seems that teams that have mixed rosters have themselves been able to find a lot of success, with Philadelphia last year, and more impressively San Francisco this year, showing the potential that this change in philosophy can have. With the team becoming based in Canada from next season, this new mixed, adaptable setup would likely be very beneficial in the future. Their ability to sign players and be flexible to the talent they are able to bring in, the team is running in comms in English, which is an issue that I think will begin to be talked about much more often as the realisation of localisation gets closer and closer with Season 3 of the Overwatch League. Whilst these roster moves are definitely not the biggest and flashiest in the world, I think they will give Toronto some more depth and flexibility overall in their lineup. It should help them in their push to make end of season playoffs, and righting the ship after an inconsistent past stage. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. Apologies for the shorter upload today, as I have my final university exam coming up at the end of this week, so I'll probably only have one more upload before then. But please be sure to like and subscribe for exciting Overwatch League coverage and content I have planned after this and moving forwards.